What's going on, guys? It's me, Musume. We're back with another Musume video. This video, we are gonna go back and train Christmas Oguri Cap for the upcoming CM because I just feel like training Cap for CM again. Nice and simple reason. For the setup, decided to try the setup I had for Orfur, and there's this setup here where it was two guts with Haru and Stay Gold. Then I love speed, Kamamo power, and measure Ramino wise. Tucker Bryan friend card that I'm borrowing, and just to see if I can get somewhere around where I got Orfur, just out of curiosity. So yeah, pretty much gonna try the new same setup, and see how that goes. But before we do jump in to the training and the comments, if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description down below. There is a channel called Circle Quest for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle, and then after that, head over to the comments section or the Circle Quest channel in the Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you into the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, let's see how this training goes. Because I think I only have, well, technically, I think I mentioned this yesterday. I technically do have 3. If not, I probably have more than 3 for medium distance, because besides the Orfur, I do still have the UB7 Gentle Donna from earlier. But then I still do have some UB6s as well, so I'm not too sure. But we'll just see what happens. We still got some time before the CM, so maybe off camera I'll just like I said, I'll probably start just training more short distance just to try to get somewhat of a good short distance parent, I guess. But yeah, we'll just see how it goes. For this training, I am quite curious, but for some odd reason I thought the Orfur one, before I checked it, was one of each, but then I looked at the stats right away and I was like, yeah, I didn't use stamina on that one. Let me go try it again. Here we are. Yeah, we'll do that. We shall do that. Well, with that being said, as we get closer to the debut, is there anything else worth mentioning? Trying to look around to see if there's anything worth mentioning. I think I'd rather just rest there. I don't think there's anything. Oh. So, that being said, going over the comments because it is loaded up. First comment is from Sally. You'll love to see it. Thanks, King. No problem. I just wish the training was a little bit better, at least, but I tried. I tried. Thank you for the comment, Sally. Appreciate it. Next comments are gonna be from Nova. Also, Rice Shower Halloween is now in Legends Race. Big W for those rice enjoyers. True. True. Did we? Nope, I did not. Next comment says, back in my day, I tried Rice Shower for a week or so and kind of just gave up. I went to McQueen instead for long distance, and it was a much better experience for me. I don't think Rice Shower ever got the meta limelight, so that's a shame. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Would you know, Nova? I assume not, because I thought we didn't care about that. Thought we didn't care about that when it came to the Umas. Next comment says, actually, I don't think that was his half-sister. I remember that he was adopted into the family. I know what you're talking about, Hugo. I don't remember Hugo's story, to be honest. As for Vivian, actually, I think I do remember parts of Hugo's, just I wasn't sure if those were his half-siblings or not blood-related. I'm not too sure. I ain't 100% sure, so yeah. As for Vivian, she also had a sister of some description from her time with the Exaltus, and she was somewhat adopted by that man. So yeah, a lot of tragic sister stories. That is true. That is true. Zenless does have a lot of their tragic sister stories. Next comment says, Eugen got trigger, and I'm like, wow, there is that luck in 40 pulls, except that you are lucky. Did he get in 40 pulls? But didn't he mention that he lost the 50-50? I don't know, I just remembered a comment from a while ago, saying, like maybe last week, saying that he did a 10 pull or whatever and he got triggered by it. So I don't know if he lost a 50-50 there or what. I don't quite know. I don't quite know. Sweet Tosho can be used for Eugen. Nishino Flower is probably the shortest Uma that can be recommended to Eugen. Then again, is height worth more than shape in Eugen index? Eugen says, just to let you know, it's not I'm into short, it's just more race designs look better on short Umas compared to taller or big ones. It's hard for me to say they are pretty on big ones because they look more sexy category than beautiful. I'm inclined on a simple, nice look. In my honest opinion, most pretty dress or they look beautiful are the ones in average and below average sizes. The bigger ones are rarely seen in a beautiful outfit, but more in a lustful or sexy. And Nishino, no, I'm tired of using her. It doesn't convince me to use at the moment. I have my lineup in Sprint CM and Sweep Tosho is on that formation. I'm fairly certain that Eugen did mention that he wasn't into... It's not because of the height. But then again, I don't expect Nova to remember. He'll probably forget again. And then say the same thing in a couple months. Or a few months. Or sooner, depending on how he's feeling, I guess. Go with the guts. I've been seeing a lot of more mourning for Ura than Grass Wonder, which makes me feel kind of sorry for Grass Wonder. There are just Umas that people can't relate to and won't care about that much. I mean, Isn't that kind of... Not saying it's not like, but there's obviously going to be characters or real life horses in this case that people will certainly care about more. It's kind of like that in any other series. So, is it sad? Yeah, it is, but Aurora was very popular, regardless of the global side or not. And then even before it became a game or anime, I would say. Can I do a race? I don't like any of the training. Door. I have the same thought. If JP existed 4 years now, they had plenty of chance to join in. They did. People were also saying that they are in JP just waiting for Global to be released, and somehow they didn't abandon JP completely. Well, especially those who said that like in year 2. Waiting a whole nother like 2 years for it to exist in the global side, and it didn't. Until it was mentioned last year, but then took another year to get released. It's actually the opposite of my prediction. Oh. Those who joined probably just realized that they probably realized that if they go to global, they're just not gonna have all the things that JP has. They're gonna be way behind and all that. So yeah, I could totally see why they would have stayed. Because it's like they already learned the game. They already know how to go around, understand some stuff. Just probably just went to Game Tour or whatever if they needed to understand something, and there you go. Nice and simple. At least that's what I would say. I do wonder if there was a need to accelerate the CM releases. Personally, I don't think so, because it was ridiculous just to figure out that the CM was already, well, it's going to be later today for sure. But it was ridiculous for me to realize last week that it was coming up already, and I was like, It literally just felt like it's been like 2 weeks since the last one. So I don't know. They could just keep it as normal cycle while accelerating all other content. True. Sure, there will be new Umas and scenarios that will deviate from the JP experience. Give me a sec. Let me just do that. From the deviate from the JP experience, but I'd argue that's a good thing. Future Sight is making a lot of players bored, and variation can help with that. Well, it is what it is with them. Global players will be global players. I am a JP player who's just chilling around global, seeing what's up. That's how it feels for me. Rick says, then we will be late on CM and League of Heroes unless they give 2 times awards. Rick says we like he's more of a global player than a JP player. Thoughts? Thoughts? Nova says, in response, CG could increase the rewards of other events. It doesn't have to be from the CM or League of Heroes. I'd argue that events give out more rocks compared to CMs and are much simpler. I agree, because the CM, especially for non-whales in global, 2 2 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks. It's not a lot of time. I feel like it's been shorter, but around that time, still not enough time for free-to-play players, especially to even make it to or even prep for the CM, unless they get lucky with the runs. So even if they do accelerate the CM and League of Heroes, well, I'll just say the CM more specifically because they're more likely to not do well in the CM compared to League of Heroes, because the League of Heroes is more, in a sense, easier to get the rewards at the very least. Just depends on how far you can go. Because for the CM, you can't get the rewards unless you make it to the finals. So if you can't make it to the finals, then what's the whole point of accelerating it if a lot of the people will not be able to make it? That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Sean will be the next Mustard, I believe. He's gonna be on the list anyways. Union says, how about no? Nova says, okay, sure. Then Rashawn says, I doubt it. All my Uma pulls on JP have been over 100 pulls to get the unit, but maybe it changes in the future. That already doesn't sound like he'll be the next Mustard, because he's been doing over 100 the whole time. So I don't think so, Nova. I don't think so. I think it's safe to say we could do the Satsuki show. Next comment says, just let me have this, man. I just want to express my likes to the world. Well, I mean, that's fine and all, but when others do like Yujin, you sound like you're judging him as well. Like earlier with the shortness or the height. Or when a flat Uma is mentioned, you'll be, so it's only fair. It's only fair. I don't mind you saying what you like and all that. It's just it's only fair to get, same judging or whatever in return if you're gonna do it to others. So yeah, it's only fair. It's only fair. The only thing that I wouldn't do is heavily troll someone just for the self-satisfaction, just to see them suffer. Am I right, Nova? Am I right? Self-gratification through people suffering. Next comment says, did he train Akabono? I forgot. Makes sense why you forgot. Either way, I still win. And this is why I can't just let you have things just because. All you care about is just winning yourself, so just to keep it even, I'll make it hard on you. But yes, he did train Akabono, because I do remember you guys were laughing about it on Discord. Well, at least you guys mentioned about it probably like a year ago, maybe. Probably like a year ago. But I do remember it. Jay is the one guy with the flame sword. Jay is the one guy with the flame sword guy who was released with Mercuria. Oop. I know Mercuria. Now I don't know who Jay is. Jay's the one guy with the flame sword guy. What the heck are we talking about? Nope. That did not help at all for me to remember that character. Let me see. Might as well search it myself. Jay's the one guy with the flame sword guy. Let's see. Okay. I don't remember this guy at all. I do not remember this guy at all. Nope. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. It is what it is. If he was released with Mercuria, then obviously I didn't care about him and just cared about pulling for Mercuria. Because I did. But Jay's just gonna be that one guy with the flame sword guy, from what you said, or described them as. That sure. 40 pulls is an Uma thing, as I thought. As I thought. I think I baited someone. I don't have much luck with Hoyo and Kuro, so that's why I swiped. Yeah, that's all I remember. It's just an Uma thing. That's why you're the King Emperor Lucky Mustard of Uma. That's the reason why. Favorite race outfit is probably Summer Vivlos, followed by Ramino Wedding and Wedding Amazon. Didn't Side Games also tell us now to lewd the Umas but have them in wedding dresses? I'm getting mixed messages. I have no idea what you're talking about. I honestly don't know what you're talking about. Tell us now, or are you telling, or did you mistakenly type the W and you were supposed to say, didn't Side Games also tell us not to lewd the Umas? I'm assuming that's what you meant. Now, because then it makes sense if I do say it that way. It makes sense if I say it that way, so. Rashawn responded saying, yeah, kind of odd. Some of the summer outfits are also kind of revealing, so very mixed signals. Let me see. Depends on your definition of revealing. Because if I look at all these outfits, for the most part, they seem pretty okay. I don't necessarily see it as revealing or not, but it depends on person's eyes. I would say probably the closest to really, I don't know. I need a full view, but based on what I can see on Game Torah, it doesn't necessarily feel like they're revealing to me, at the very least. Probably the closest one would be Marozensky, but I was the first batch of... That was the first batch of summer outfits. But other than that, I don't think it has been revealing at all. Unless we have a different definition of revealing, then that would make sense. And the last comment from Nova says... we have the Kika show? No, we don't. Maybe I'll do it. Depends on the next turn, but maybe this is something people don't know or pay attention to, but what's the favorite Uma voice for you? Mine would be Zephyr for her smooth voice. Calcium Light has probably the funniest voice acting I've seen. I don't know my answer. Well, one, because it should be pretty obvious after all this time I've been recording Pretty Derby. I don't play with the volume on. So the only voices I can remember would basically be from the anime. It would basically be from the anime. And just to make my life easier, I'm just gonna go with a biased answer. Which would be... I don't even remember how Zephyr's voice sounded like, so yeah. That's just me being honest about... I definitely don't play with the volume on, if it wasn't obvious. But if I'm just gonna go off the anime... I was gonna say Tails voice actor. I kind of... She's around. She's been around. She's been around in many other animes. Though that was one thing I did notice. So it'll just be my two biased answers. Those are two biased answers. I can make it 3 and say Cap. I can make it all just biased answers, because I would have to go listen to their voices in the game for me to answer that. It's kind of like that one guy who asked what was my favorite songs from the songs to listen to, but I don't even go to the jukebox. So I had to go back to it and see which ones I prefer, if I'm being honest. So yeah. You could say I am part of those that don't pay attention because, not by choice, that I don't want to pay attention. It's just I so happen not to play with volume. I just so happen not to play with the volume on. Other than that, if I had the volume on most of the time or all the time, then yeah, I would have. But I don't. So yeah, that's just how it is. But other than that, thank you, Nova, for all the comments, and Rashawn, Eugen, and Rick for replying to a few of them. Appreciate it. Next comments are gonna be from Eugen. When I was about to continue the date with Soldier 11, I was prevented because I was not yet done with Anby's story. So this weekend, I'll remember to play Zenless and not sleep just for the story to increase the bond. What's funny is, for myself, I think that didn't matter for me because I didn't have Soldier 11 at that time. I think I have her now, but yeah, I didn't have Soldier 11 to begin with, so it didn't matter. I guess it's really Seed that combine or works well as per shown in trial. I want to pull Seed because it's kind of a I want to pull Seed because it's kind of, I'm assuming, kind of fun when in capsule mode firing missiles, but maybe on last day I will try to pull a bit. I just have fun with her rotations. But yes, it's pretty much that Seed who makes that combination works. Like I was saying, not having Soldier 11. I questioned this a couple months ago because you said you had Soldier 11 with Anby in the same team, and I told you that's not gonna work. So I still stand by that. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work unless you have Seed, because Seed is an attacker. Something with T. Teo, is she part of the aerodynamics? I think that's up to you. I personally don't care. My reason, I've said it before, is as long as it's not too big. Something that Nova enjoys. Am I right? I've said this before many times. Just to keep it out there. Kind of in the neutral zone. As long as it doesn't get too big, which is ridiculous, then I'll definitely not care. Not be interested. Can't remember her name. I can go for Till in Love because she have great aerodynamics, slightly bigger than McQueen. Till in Love? We're just gonna take away the S. I mean, you can, and at the end of the day, you could just use whoever you want. At the end of the day, you can just use whoever you want. Speaking of Teo, though, I want to mention it on Global Video, but haven't watched any of those. I pulled for Seiyun Sky Banner. There was plenty of long shot gates with 60 pulls, then favorites start on 80 to 10 pulls. Oh yeah, and 100 pull Rainbow appeared and Teo Sky appeared? Both? Or... I'm confused. I'm a little confused. Oh no, I should probably schedule some races. Do that, and should I just do the with that? And another thing I should have done was the dates. I forgot to do about the dates. I've just been resting normally. Oh well. How the stats doing also? Oh no. Guess we'll do that because I did miss out on doing the Osaka High, but it is what it is. So there goes my 15 carats out of 16k. So I decided to screw it and go until to the last drop on the 110 pull, then the real Saiyan Sky appear. Ah, so you did get AO. And then you got Saiyan Sky. Well, at least you got her. And then, oh, I qualified to Group B round 2 without doing anything because when I logged in round 2 in preparation. But it hasn't even started yet. It says the same thing when I did. So, yeah. Do this so we can recover most of the energy, if not all. It'll be more comfortable for me to have 2 dates remaining than 3. And we still gotta do one more race, which we'll just do the Yasuda Kinen, which is fine. Oh. About Nova's downfall? Well, indeed, that would be a festival where the Mustard Emperor fell down on his knees and abdicated the throne. Feels like an anime manga special episode of chapter that everyone will celebrate and will never forget. So I agree with Sean. So let's mark that day and Nova will have peace of mind after that. Honestly, he probably will. He'll have all of us stop talking about it. Probably mention it here and there because it's gonna be more of a who's gonna be the next one. That's gonna be the next conversation, the next topic once it happens. But once again, that's a tall order for the next one to follow up with. Pretty tall order, I'd say. Almost 2 years as we're speaking right now. Yeah, that's a tall order to try and beat. And then next comment from Eugene says, favorite outfit? Yeah, we'll stick to Turbo, so that's why I like her. Other than that, those like coat outfits like were mentioned, Manhattan Cafe, Agnes Tachyon. Even they have not released then Fantasy Grass Wonder one, because it looks cool to me with that theme. And then, yep, indeed, Vivlo's new outfit came before Duramente and Turbo. Seems Duramente forgotten as well, just like the hiatus in Season 3 anime. Vivlos... Well, technically speaking, didn't Vivlos get released before Duramente? Because Duramente was the anniversary character. So that's like a month gap, but still. I just don't know what they would release Duramente as when it comes to what theme. I guess we'll find out what the next upcoming holiday is then. That would be the only way to figure out, because in like by the end of September we should be getting the Halloween banners. And there's festival banners at the end of next month, then Christmas. So we'll see. And then New Year's, there's a good amount coming up. But let's do this. Well, that's pretty much it for all the comments from Eugen. Thank you for the comments, Eugen. Appreciate it as always. Next comments are from Kazuki. And the first one says... Oh, we didn't get... Altanosho and Arima, right? Okay. About time. Maybe we'll do a B2. Maybe. I heard that there's a lot of complaints about the accelerated schedule and no extra compensation rewards for weekly carrots earnings, and they're so mad about it, especially the free-to-play ones. Makes sense. I mean, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But y'all waited for global, right? So in that sense, you get what you waited for. If you expected much from side games to you know, good luck with that. But some literally countered it with it's made and their target audience is a salaryman, JP salaryman. That doesn't make sense, because why would they play the global one? They perfectly have the JP version. So if we're talking about it's targeted for the JP salaryman for the global version, that does not make any sense to me at all. Don't worry, Goshi and Daiska? Is that what we're calling it? Scarlet is still not that too old yet, and Goshi literally healthy after his retirement from racing industry. Stay strong, Goshi and Daiwa-chan. Then this comment was supposed to be for the last vid, but I want to point out that Espoir is literally the character that I really want. From her voice to her design and detail, I love every bit and piece of it. And that would be, if it's from the design and all that, I know I see you typed it, but it's literally how you typed it. Literally, Gyaru. Also, she's a tsundere Uma. I don't know her personality, but oh, I literally skipped the first half of the other one. I'll go back to that right now. I have. Ooh. Dang, I still got 3 left. I should have just done this. Oh well. Also, my first impression of her voice somewhat close to Naruto's VA, but more like Espoir has husky, deep, and aggressive personality on her voice, and I didn't expect her voice to be like that. Expecting her voice to be on the cutesy side. Like I said earlier, I don't hear the voices, so I wouldn't know. She's too powerful, more like a new meta. Dirt Uma has entered the field. Also, she's been carrying my Dirt team on team trials alongside Capano Ricky. I would assume at this point, every time they release a Dirt Uma, it's part of the meta, but I don't really care to follow the meta for actual Umas. If my Umas that I like fall in the meta, then so be it. They'll eventually fall off anyway. But I'll still use them, regardless. Other than that, thank you, Kazuki, for the comments. Appreciate it. And the last 2 comments, I think. Let me refresh just to make sure. I guess there's a few more. One more comment from Rashawn. And starting off the 3 from the 1 out of 3. I don't know what I'm saying. First one says, "Whoa, training my second daughter. I still don't know how I feel about calling it your daughter." Still don't know how I feel. I returned to Zenless, got S rank at like 50 to pity, and it was grace. Back to grinding, I suppose. I think the game was like, you're a little too early. Here's grace. Well, at least you have a guaranteed for your next character, whoever you're deciding to pull for. Unless you're... I don't know who you're pulling for. I'm assuming Seed. Unless you're going to use that for Seed, then hopefully that happens early. And then the last comment says, "See, my daughter was locked in. Only 2 mood drops this run." Like I said, still don't know how I feel about calling her your daughter. Because it wasn't your request. So yeah, that's why it's kind of weird. In my head, at least, right now. But yeah, she didn't have that many mood drops at all. Surprisingly. But thank you, Rashawn, Kazuki, Eugen, Nova, Sally, and Rick for replying to one of Nova's comments. Thank you all for commenting. Appreciate it as always. And let's do the last run. Let me refresh to make sure. And I do need to record the global side. Although I could just wait for later, but fine. If anything, I'll just try and squeeze in. It's today, tomorrow. Tomorrow will be... I could post a round 1 video tomorrow for the CM. For global. And then... if Friday... Saturday is... around day 2, right? Today, tomorrow, day 1. Yeah, I could record round 2 next week, I would assume. Either day 1 or day 2. Yeah. So I don't have to record over the weekend. Well, that's if I even make it around 2. Now that I think about it. If I even make it around 2. Not only did they accelerate the CMs, but they made it harder to get into Group B. So it doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, I don't think it would matter if they double the rewards or accelerate the, or yeah, it wouldn't matter if they accelerate it, if a lot of people are going to miss out on it regardless. So yeah. But at the same time, for myself, it is what it is. I'm playing JP. So I don't care. I don't care. Whatever happens in global, what happens in global. That's as simple as it's gonna be for me. Sorry if you care for global, but with the way things are now, doesn't look like it's gonna be good. Just based on their acceleration. Because I don't agree with this accelerated CM. Not giving enough people enough time to train, in my personal opinion. I'm only saying that off by experience as well, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I'm mostly saying that from experience, because for myself, it usually takes me the good whole month that they usually give. Heck, probably not like more than a month. Like a little over a month, but yeah, I pretty much need all that. I pretty much need all that time to prepare myself, so if I can't do that in global, then there's no point in me necessarily caring even more. If I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I think I missed out on some gold skills, but yeah, this was bad. On the bad side. Oh well. Oh well. I'll save that for a different run later off camera. Oh. I guess I'll just pick this one. But ended off with 1656 speed, 1481 stamina, 1536 power, 1613 guts, and 1190 on wise. Honestly, I did miss out on one date. A good RNG could have been slightly better, I think. Yeah, it could have been slightly better. I don't think I seen a 4. If I did, then maybe one happened once, but I think for the most part, my highest was 3s. Stamina managed to get it to 1481 without a stamina card. So I think I can make this setup work with Cap. Problem is speed is low, so maybe, I don't know. I'll just have to see. I don't remember if I said the stats, but 1656 speed, 1481 stamina, 1536 power, 1613 guts, and 1190 on wise with an S aptitude on medium distance. And obviously did not make it to my top 3 because they should all be in the UBs. They should all be the UBs. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys didn't make it this far, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing with your CM prep, or if you guys are starting to prep for the short distance, or even the League of Heroes in November, if you're that ahead for some reason. But if there's anything else y'all want to talk about or ask me, just leave it down in the comment section down below. As long as appropriate, I'll go over it. And if you guys haven't joined the Discord server, link is down in the description as well. There's a channel called Circle Request for those who haven't joined a circle or are looking for a circle to join. Y'all are free to join the circle that I'm in. It is called Shushu. Once you give that a search, hit request join. It'll let me know that you want to join the circle. And then after that, head over to the comment section or the Circle Quest channel or Discord server. Let me know that you sent the request along with your in-game name, just so I can make sure to add you in the circle and not somebody else. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you once again, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.